think as well.
Oh,
Hi everyone.
I am here. Yeah, sorry.
Hi Laura. Thank you for
Hello.
joining us.
Sorry,
And
we're
what
late.
time is it over there?
It is
Uh,
7 p.m. in the evening, and we thought it was at 8 p.m., so we apologize.
it's okay. It's totally okay. All right, let me find your name and then I can add you as co-host. Okay, we are recording, so you guys can take it over. Oh, amazing. Right, guys, I am going to kick us off. First of all, apologies that we are late. Laura, it's not the first time we do it on the
No.
SSD call quite often. Just a little bit of an introduction. My name is Lisa Allwood. I am a superstar director in the UK. Super excited to be here tonight to talk to you guys about recruiting because it literally is my jam, and I know it's Laura's too. Laura and I work super closely together. We literally live 10 minutes down the road to each other. So we go to the gym together, we spend a lot of time together, and our teams work really closely together as well. So sponsoring is something that I am very, very passionate about. Pleased to say that I've got a new teamie that's literally signing up as we speak. Had a reinstatement today too. So you're in good hands in terms of what we're going to teach and what we're going to share tonight. And then hopefully we would love you guys also to maybe unmute, especially as we've got a smaller group tonight. This is a perfect opportunity where you guys can unmute, maybe share some of your hurdles, some of the things that you're struggling with, and maybe we can help with that. So, Laura, do you just want to introduce yourself? And we're just gonna like ad lib this
Yeah,
together.
definitely. We've made some notes, and obviously we said we're going to bounce off each other. But yeah, just to kind of introduce myself, I am a superstar director in the UK. I've been with Sensi for 9 years next month, and like Lisa said, we are both superstar directors. We live super close, so don't ever feel like there's too many consultants in your area. We've both built a really strong business. And yeah, just to kind of reiterate what Lisa said, I sponsored a girl last week who actually was in Sensi in 2013 before I even joined. She's come back. She has hit shooting star. She's excited. So there are definitely people out there, guys, if you are sharing the opportunity. So it's something that we both are very actively doing, and we wanted to come and share that with you this evening.
Okay, so I'm just going to kick off with talking about really the aim for tonight is to come away to be able to look for, if you like, what are those things that you're going to be looking for that might make you think, do you know what, they might want to join Sensi? Because sometimes you can't it I look at everybody, right? I literally walk down the street and I am thinking they could join my team. They'd be an amazing Sensi consult. I just think that everybody wants to join Sensi, right? That's how I look at the world. I literally think of everybody that I meet as prospective customer, potential team member, and yeah, they might not all want to join my team, 100%. But we've got to have those recruitment glasses on. So for tonight, I want everybody to put on your recruitment glasses. I want everybody to put them on, metaphorically, or whether you don't put them on, that's up to you. But I would like you to put them on because I want you to start thinking about those tips, what we're looking out for. We're looking out for those cues, those signs, and then hopefully to be able to confidently open the invitation so it feels really authentic. And by the end of tonight as well, we are all going to be spending a couple of messages because that's how I work, I roll. I'm an ex-teacher. So for me, I'm all about let's learn the skill and let's actually put it into practice because otherwise it's pointless. And that's the whole point of these sessions. No, I'm just going to hand over to
Absolutely.
you while I strip off.
No, that's okay. One thing that I just want to
What?
reiterate is people really overcomplicate sponsoring. You know, one of our core values is simplicity. I don't know about you guys. I have to keep my life and my business super simple. I have three children, a dog, a busy life. And we have to keep sponsoring simple, exactly like we do with every other part of our business. So what we want to try and do this evening is to try and break it down and so it doesn't feel as overwhelming and it's something that you build into your business as a habit as you do with, asking for parties, getting your borrow bag out, talking about Sensi Club. Yeah, keeping the simplicity, which is one of our core values.
Okay, so for me, like the hill that I'm always on, and I want you guys to, you can put this in the chat because I'd love to hear some of your thoughts and feelings on this. For me, I think the reason a lot of people struggle with sponsoring is literally to do with the first most important thing in your business, the grassroots of your business, the like your foundation, which is for new customers and finding new customers on a regular basis. Because for me, I don't know about a lot of you guys. If you've been in Sensi for a while, you've probably asked a lot of your customers, right? I know that I've asked a lot of my customers, and I'm going down the list and I'm ticking them off, and I'm like, I've asked her 3 times. Oh God, she's been asked like every single time that she orders because she's a big orderer. So realistically, we want to be always filling that cup. And one of my team actually, I did some sponsoring training last month, and one of my team come up with a really cool saying that was, she said, you need to like recruit and replenish. And I was like, oh my God, that is gold. And by recruit and replenish, it's that whole thing of look to sign somebody up and then you replenish them with new customers so that you've always got a continual customer base that's growing. So tell me in the chat below, I'd love to hear like how many new customers have you guys had this month? Like, do you set yourself a new customer goal? Because that's your starting point for if you want to be confident with sponsoring, in my opinion, it's about growing the customer base big and strong. That's the starting point, always. And that should be where everybody's looking right now is okay, if I've had one new customer, have I asked that new customer to join? I think there was a statistic that was put out a little while back about that something like, I want to say it was like a huge percentage of like 70%, or maybe I might have my numbers wrong, but I remember there was some data where they said 70% of people buy after they have made their first purchase, or even some before they've even made that first purchase, in the first sort of like 6 months of
Join.
them making that first. Sorry, look.
Sorry, do you mean join? They join, you said bye.
Sorry, they
Join. No,
join.
no,
They're
that's
more
what I mean.
likely to join.
Just to
Sorry, don't
explain.
what was that?
No,
I
no,
said
no.
something wrong.
That's fine.
They're
Yeah,
more
but just
likely to
explain.
join
Yeah.
after that first purchase. And I think that's such a key thing because if you're having new customers constantly, you're more like you've got people to be having these conversations with. And that way it keeps it really, really simple. For me, that's what it's all about. That new
Absolutely. And when I remember when Dan shared that statistic, and actually probably a lot of us, or you may have thought in the past, oh, they need to be a customer for so long, they need to be using the product. Just FYI, fun fact, Lisa Allwood, right? Well, but I was going to say below me, I don't know where she's on the screen. Lisa had never tried a product when she joined Scentsy. This little message just pops into my inbox. What's this Scentsy thing that you do? I sent her my link about an hour later. It went ping, Lisa Allwood has joined the business, and the rest is history. So she had never ever tried a Sense product, and actually, most people haven't. So, or it's within the first however many buys. So don't feel like you can't introduce the opportunity right from the beginning because people will love to learn as they go. So don't be scared about sharing it earlier on and think that they've got to have been a customer for months and months.
I think that's really important as well. Like, I think sometimes we can be so fearful of asking somebody right from the very off because you think, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that like network marketer that's asking straight off the bat, do you want to come and join? Do you fancy, have you ever considered joining it, doing this? But actually, you need to just get it out over and just ask it. You need to just
What
ask that to those new customers.
Absolutely. And what I always think is as well, and this is what I like tell my team is that think about like what we're experiencing. Think about all the wonderful things that Scentsy has brought into your life, whether that's an income, whether that's confidence, whether that's friendships, whether that's an incentive trip, whether that's, being able to buy your kids' school shoes. I don't know, like Scentsy brings a whole range of things for so many people. We're all a part of that, right? We know how wonderful that is. Why would we keep that gift to ourselves? Like we know what's on the other side of that join opportunity. That is a gift that we need to be offering to the world. And when you flip it round and think about it like that, you literally, like Lisa said, we all jokes aside, we have been in the car together at once. And we were driving down and there was like all these houses and I was like, look at all these people, like look at all these houses. We're like, imagine all them people join Scentsy. Like there are millions of people in the world and this is a gift that we get to offer them. So when you start to flip your mindset and think about it like that, you will literally just want to ask everybody.
So we come up with like a few things that you can look for, and then as we go through those things that you can look for, we're going to give you some tips of like how you could ask that person. So I'm going to start off with like your customers that are shopping a lot. I bet right now all of you could write down 5 customers that you've got that are spending the most with you, and then do it. Do this activity. Write those people down and put them down. Just think about if off the top of your head, who are your 5 customers that are spending the most money with you? You don't need to put them in the chat or anything like that, unless you want to, obviously. If you think about it this way, we have this amazing opportunity now with this £9 kit, right? Or $9 for you guys. It's £9 for us, $9 for you guys. If we talk in pounds, I apologize because obviously it is slightly different. Um, but imagine that $9 kit offering that to all of your best customers. So they just have the opportunity They don't might not want it as a business, right? And I think I forgot this for a long time. I forgot that actually Sensi isn't just about people that want to grow a big booming business. It's actually important to offer it to everybody because it suits people that I want to earn money off my own purchases, right? I've got customers that spend an active order with me every single month. And I bet some of you guys have. I bet some of you guys are thinking, I know who you're thinking of, Lisa. Like, I can actually name that person. Well, we could offer that person. Why not offer that person the $9 join kit to have their own account, to place their own orders? And then not only are they're going to get cashback on their orders because cashback technically commission, I call it cashback. Let's change the lingo slightly, right? So it makes it feel like they're getting something in return. And tell them you don't even need to work it as a business. You haven't even got to join the groups. All I want you to do is shop on your own shopping link. And including in that $9 that you're going to get 3 vouchers for every time you spend £100, $100 for you guys, sorry. Every time they spend that, they're going to get $20 off their order or £20 off their order. Now that for me, if I'm a big spender, if I spend £200 on skincare, for example, and that was how much I needed to spend to get my vouchers, I'm going to sign up. I'm going to sign up. So how many of you haven't had that conversation with some of your best customers? You've written their names down. Send them the message. Offer them the $9 join kit. Do it while we're here tonight. Send out those messages. If anyone gets a teamy tonight while we're on this call, by the way, I will do like a little dance for everybody. I will like do a celebration dance. Not anything like dodgy, I promise. It'll be like a celebration. Um, but just that kit, having that option now, that digital kit, that's for your absolute addicts, your Scentsy Anonymous people that need to be in Scentsy Anonymous because they spend so much money on it. That's for them. You've got to be thinking what kit suits what type of person. That's what we're looking for here.
Absolutely. And just as a little caveat to that, don't be scared to sponsor your best customers. Okay, you can always find more customers. Like we said earlier, there are literally millions of people in the world. Do not be scared to sponsor your best customers because you never, I know they might join as, just getting something back on their own orders, but you never know what that could turn into. And there is always more customers that you can find. But loads of people have said in the past, oh, I don't want to sponsor that person because they spend a lot of money with me. You never know. And like we said, it's not our job to make that decision for them. It's our job to offer them the opportunity and then see what they want to do with it.
What you've also got to remember, guys, is if one of your best customers says yes, you're going to get that GWV, or that
Yeah.
TWV. That's still going to go into your numbers, but we have got to replenish them. Like that, what my team has said, that recruit them, but you've got to replenish them. So if they are somebody that spends $200, $300, you got to think, okay, how many new customers do I need to replenish that amount of sales? Because otherwise, your sales will go down naturally. That's just a natural thing. And I've had teamies that have said that to me before. They said, Lisa, like I've recruited all my best customers and now I'm struggling to get my 500 PRV. And my answer to them always is, but how many new customers have you replenished for that wonderful customer that is now smashing it in their business? Like that's what you want. That's the gold, right? But if you're then meeting those new customers, you've got new conversations to have. You've got them looking glasses on to be able to look.
Like it's like that funnel that I know you've talked about before, Lisa. If it goes this way and your customer base is going down, your funnel's only ever going to get smaller. You need to flip that funnel upside down and be constantly thinking, obviously, about filling it up the other way. Um, okay, then do you want me to go on to the next point?
Yeah.
So the next person that you might want to, and we don't mean this in an insensitive way, and really funnily enough, this actually happened to me yesterday with one of my customers, and it's a conversation I've been having with her today, which I actually screenshot to you, Lisa. When I talk about this has literally just happened. So somebody on socials or people that you're having conversations with, that maybe might be looking for, they're out of work or they've been made redundant. Just yesterday, I dropped an order on my customer's doorstep, and I was stood having a chat with her. And she is a teacher in a school in London, and she was telling me that she'd been made redundant because I said to her, I didn't expect you to be here. Like I normally leave her orders in her porch. And she said to me, "Oh, I'm out of work at the moment, basically." So I didn't say it there and then. Obviously, I just had a bit of a chat with her, and I said, I'm sorry to hear that. But when I got home, I just sent her a WhatsApp, a message. I think you've got WhatsApp over there. I sent her a message. And she actually said, and I just said to her, like, you do know that, like, what you spent on your Scentsy orders, you could be earning a little bit back on your orders yourself if that could help you. And she came back and she said, yeah, I have been actually been thinking about it. And then today she actually said, I just like getting all my pretty orders from you though so much. I was like, it's all right, you can order your own pretty ones. So she's just, she's choosing kits. She said, I'm 90% there, but it's not being insensitive. It's offering somebody help in, we all know that what this can do for people. And if people do need an additional, whether they're out of work or not, like who doesn't need an additional income, right? So, but if somebody is, they post that they're looking for work or looking for a job, don't think that you can't offer them the opportunity, because I know that there's a lot of people say, oh, no multi-level marketing and all these things, but don't you have that preconceived idea in your head, because we know how special this is and what this can do for people. So, they could say no, but if you never ask, the answer will always be no. So don't be scared to offer that to them.
And it could be something really simple, guys. I've got the simplest way to ask people. So this, you can write this down, and this is literally my favorite saying in the world. And I say it, this is how I ask everybody, okay? I don't think I've got any other script to give you apart from this
No.
one line. Okay, and now I use the same line every single time. And honestly, I could screenshot you 50 messages that I've sent this week, and they all look the same. The line I use is really simple. It's this, and you might have heard this before, you might not. Have you ever considered doing what I do? And that is the gold, right? Because you're not saying to someone, "Do you want to join my team?" That's a yes or a no answer, right? So you're literally asking them a closed question. You're either going to get a yes or you're going to get a no. And a no, you're shut down, right? The yes, you're having a party, we're having a dance. When you're asking someone, have they considered? You're asking them, have they thought about it? Have you ever thought about it? And a lot of people then say, "Oh, I have thought about it, but." Or they say, "Oh, I've never really thought about it before." They're your two answers. It leads you into two conversations, which means you're always going to have a conversation about the join opportunity. You're never ever going to be shut down. So, what is that going to do for your confidence? Your confidence is going to absolutely skyrocket when you ask somebody that way, because you're never going to get told flat no. Well, you might. You might get somebody that goes, "Absolutely not, it's not for me." Like, no. But that's okay. But asking them, have they ever considered it? You could say, that's not the question I asked you. I didn't ask you if you wanted to join my team. I was asking you, have you ever considered it? Because 9 times out of 10, they say, yeah, I have considered it, but I just don't think I've got the time. As soon as they give you, but I haven't got the time, you've now got an objection to work with. You can give them examples of like people on your team that might squeeze it into like tiny pockets of time, people that make it work in 30 minutes in the day, people that actually don't run it as a business and just have it for their own orders. So this is where I have got lots of objections that I have loaded in my head, ready to go, so that I've always got an answer. And that makes me a little bit like a dog with a bone, but do you know what? I own that.
And also, and, al- and also, if somebody says no, it doesn't necessarily mean no forever. Okay? I was with another network marketing company before Sensei. I was never joining another company. And look how that turned out. So what I'm saying is, no doesn't mean no forever. So if somebody says no, obviously the first, but it doesn't mean never ask them again. Maybe just if they say, oh no, not right now, or no, just put a little like note either in your brain or in your notebook or wherever you keep your records of things, and ask them again in the future until somebody absolutely point blank says to you, do not ever ask me about Sensei ever again, which nobody's ever said that to me in 9 years. Everybody will keep getting asked or offered, should I
They
say?
keep getting offered. They
They
keep
keep
it.
getting offered.
Okay, so as we're going through these, hopefully you're writing down a few people that you're thinking of. You're starting to think of people. And if you are starting to think of them and you're feeling brave, you can start to reach out to them while we're on this call. Start to reach out to them and ask them the simple line, have you ever considered doing what I do? Just ask. I promise you, it's not that scary. Okay, so other things that we're looking for, and we'll try and whiz through these because I realize we're going to be short on time. And Laura and I like to talk. I don't know if you've realized that,
Okay.
but we like the sound of our own voices. So bear with us. I know that this is an opportunity for you guys to talk to, but we do love a chat. We should have probably warned everybody at
We
the
are
start.
gonna we are gonna do questions at the end, I promise.
Okay, so you're looking for somebody, some of these actually roll into one, someone
Yeah.
who is referring you, or actually, let's just talk about someone that's already behaving like a consultant. Have you got customers that are doing the things, referring you? Maybe they're being a regular host, shopping like a consultant, buying all of their friends' Scentsy gifts. I'm looking for these things all the time. These are those little,
Well, their
those
posts
little,
literally look like a consultant. Like sometimes
yeah.
you go on Facebook and I'm like, oh my God, she literally looks like she's a sense consultant.
Yeah, and you think they're already doing all the things. Actually, if they're already doing all the things, I just want to say as well, for you guys as a consultant, it's a real compliment to you as a consultant, because if they're doing it, it means they're mirroring what they've seen you do. So if you've got customers that do that, you should give yourself a little pat on the back, because it means that you're doing your job. You're doing your job. Now, don't be thinking, oh God, I haven't got any customers that do that. If they haven't, this is maybe where you can change a few things, tweak a few things so that you're really showing them what you're doing behind the scenes. Because ideally, you want your customers to be doing the hard work for you. Whether they join or not, you want your customers to be referring you their friends. It's like the biggest compliment in the world, whether they want to join or not, right? That's a big compliment. Or you want them to be like regular hosts. I am dying on the hill of the party links at the minute, which I'm actually calling to my team shopping links, and I call them shopping links to my customers. And it seems to have really changed the way my customers are thinking about things. I'm saying to them, look, I call it just a shopping link. And suddenly it's taken that whole like worry about doing a party away. And one of the ladies at the minute that's been collecting orders, I'm like, she's going to join. Like, I've already got my glasses open for her, because she's given me some warmer orders already, some wax orders already. She's not far off an active order, which is exactly what we're looking for. She's behaving like a consultant.
Absolutely. And one thing I just wanted to kind of add that just popped into my brain was this. Never make the assumption that somebody would not want to join Tintsy. Never make the assumption for somebody that like, oh, well, I won't ask them because, they've got a really good job. Or I won't ask them because, their husband has got a really good job and they don't need to work. Or I won't ask them because, I don't know, XYZ. It's not our job to make the assumption if somebody wants to join Tintsy. It's our job to offer the opportunity. I've had people over the last 9 years that probably in the beginning, never in a million years would have thought would have become a Sense consultant. However, it's not always about the money. It's not always about the income. Some people might join because they love to travel and they might want to earn an incentive trip. Some people might see some of the training that you do or the recognition that you share and they don't get that in their job and they actually would like that. Some people do it because they want to be a part of a community or to build their confidence or there's a million and one reasons why somebody might join Sensi. So don't ever assume and make the assumption that, I'm not going to ask that person or I'm not going to offer that person because they don't need Sensi. We don't know why people need Sensi. It's not our job to make that decision. It's our job to offer the opportunity.
And just keep offering it as well. One of the other ones that which I think is really important to talk about, like hosts, and hosts. Like I know that partying, everyone is going through this whole like position at the minute where we're like, how we're partying, everybody's tweaking and pivoting what everybody's doing. I know that I certainly am,
Yeah.
but Laura and I can both vouch for this. We grew up on parties. Our business was built
Mm.
on home parties. Like we were the home party queens. And genuinely, the thing that we want you to take away from this is if you're not partying, something to think about is most of our directors. So, and we've had a fair few directors
Yeah,
between
yeah,
us.
yeah.
Most of our directors all came from a party. They were a party host. And I think that tells you something. Like our best directors that have worked and smashed it and built really strong teams, they were party hosts. And I think for me, that's like the Belisha Beacon that says we need to be partying, because that's where your hosts are coming from, because they're mimicking the behavior of the consultant. They're finding out already, have I got a customer base for this? And that is that game changer flip. How we do that, it is up to you guys. Like, because some of you will be like, I don't want to do a home party. Some of you might not live anywhere near anybody. Some of you, it might be events is your thing. But you've got to work out that wherever that, whatever that looks like for you, how you meet new customers, how can you how can you create hosts? And it's got to work for you. And my way doesn't have to work for Tanya. Tanya's way doesn't have to work for Joseph. Joseph doesn't have to work for Vicky. Vicky's could be completely different to Laura's. Every person genuinely probably has a different way of partying. You've just got to find what's your way, what works really, really well for you. Because once you teach that to your customers and your team, that's when the magic starts to happen, guys. That's when people naturally say, I could do this, because they see the simplicity in it. They see the simplicity in it.
Absolutely. And it's that duplication. When you are sponsoring, if you have a team, that's when your team will be sponsoring because your team will mimic what you do, not what you tell them to do. So if you are sponsoring, then your team will sponsor too. But again, it's just keeping that simplicity. And sorry, I was just coming to the last point that we put is so people that obviously like if you put a join post out there on social media, don't be worrying about, sending them a little inbox and just saying thank you so much for liking my post. Is it something you've ever considered? Again,
Yeah.
considered. It's not saying do you want to join Sensi? It's just saying like thank you for the interaction. I really appreciate it. People interact because actually sometimes they're not that brave to ask you. There will be people watching your posts and watching what you're doing and they want to join and there's just a little something in them that they haven't got the courage to reach out and they will actually appreciate you reaching out and asking them. Who was it? My brain has literally gone to mush because I'm in my 40s. We went to a retreat and somebody told us about it was Dorothy Thurman. Dorothy Thurman said that she joined because the person that she was actually buying Scentsy from had never actually asked her. And then her sponsor asked her and she was like, I was really flattered and I'd wanted to join for ages, but actually I'd never been asked. So I joined with the person that asked me.
And what if, and I always think of this happened to me so many times when I first joined, and I remember being so sad because some of my like really good customers signed up with somebody else because I didn't ask them. And I
Yeah.
learned that the hard way, right? I learned that the hard way. And I remember ringing Laura and being like, so and so's just joined with so and so. And I was really upset about it. And she was like, yeah, but did you ask her? And I was like, no. And she was like, well, I've got no answer for you, Lisa. Like you've got to be the one. So if you wanna keep your customers and you want your customers to become your teamies, not somebody else's, you've got to put yourself out there. And I know sometimes that's the hardest battle because when you put yourself out there, you think, why would someone want to join me? Like why would they want to join my team? But trust me, your customers choose you to shop with all the time, every month. They choose you. They choose you above all the thousands of other Sensi consultants. Trust me, we all sell the same product, right? But they choose you. They choose you. So, um, I've given you my simple way to ask. We both use that actually. So, questions for you guys then. If anybody wants to unmute, feel free, or you can use the chat. What hurdles do you really feel like you're facing right now within your business? Actually, before we do that question, your 5 people that you wrote down. If you haven't already, I want you to send them a little message. Now, it could be something really, really simple. Don't make it sound weird. Do not say the words, "Would you join my team?" I want you just to ask them. So it might be if I was messaging Laura, it'd be something like this: "Hey Laura," or "Hey babe," because that's how I talk. "Hey babe, hey babe, um, thanks for your order of." She hasn't ordered this, but a frosted petals brick. We don't even have these anymore, but these are really old. It's just what I have to hand. Um, I hope you loved it. Got a question for you. Have you ever considered doing what I do? That's all you're going to put. You're not going to tell them about the join kits. You're not going to be sensi sick on them. And I want you to send those 5 messages. Okay, so while you're doing that, if anyone feels brave enough to unmute, we would love to hear like, what are some of your hurdles? What are some of the things that you are anything that we've talked about tonight where you feel like you need more clarification
But
or
Joseph
even if you want to share.
Yeah, Joseph has said some of them don't understand the post because the World Wide Web translator is not as good as it used to be, i.e. TikTok. Do you mean as in a language translation, Joseph? Just to elaborate a little bit. Feel free to write again or like Lisa said to.
So, what I mean by that is I'll do a post on TikTok, okay?
Yeah,
And I'll have, you know, TikTok users from the other side of the world that could be, look like from India, but also too, a lot of these accounts are almost like bots,
yeah,
Yeah.
just um hearting, like all my posts get heart through TikTok or through um um Insta Instagram, and then they'll try messaging me, and then I'll introduce the business, the company name, because they're both business platforms. Specifically, I
Yeah.
have all socials under business
yeah,
platforms, personal separated. And I find that they still don't understand where you say, "Oh, so and so Scent Lounge. This is the owner." Then you introduce yourself and speaking. what are you interested in today? What would you like to learn more about? But, and then they'll go on about a whole nother topic or think
So,
this
Joe, your
one,
question is that you're trying to expand your business through your social media reach. And as you're getting connections, you're finding that it's not true people that maybe want to join. So, I'm going to hand it back over to Laura and Lisa so they can respond to that.
yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, sorry, I wasn't sure whether you meant like a language translation.
yeah,
I know that Lace, do you want me to, sorry, do you want me to say this first, Lace?
Go for it. Yeah, go for it.
So yeah, what you said obviously about having it separate and business and personal. Obviously, everybody runs their business completely as they wish and in a unique way. I have it all under one umbrella because I just think if people need to get to know the person, if we want to build those relationships, they need to get to know you yourself. So it's not just Scentsy that we're sharing. But like you say, it's wonderful that it's on a worldwide platform. But yeah, there are a lot of bots out there, and there are a lot of. But if you can ask those questions quite early on, you'll be able to kind of filter out the people that you maybe want to spend a little bit more time with. But yeah, try and like build those relationships a little bit more initially, because then when you get to the conversation, you might be able to filter some of those out a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. And I think TikTok's a bit of a funny one like that because TikTok is so wide, isn't it? And so maybe even on your post you could put down countries that you could sponsor in. You could
Yeah,
literally maybe put that in brackets somewhere, have it written down somewhere so that people know. Like so maybe, and as Laura said, I would get to the question quite quickly because then you'll be able to filter it out. I get it though. It's part of what we do
yeah,
because when you're asking, you've got to, at the end of the day, you're having the conversations, which is the most important thing, right? Okay, I know some of them are bots. You just need to try and work out, can I gauge whether this is somebody that genuinely is interested or they're a time waster? Because I do find that on TikTok, I find I get more people saying, "Oh, I'd like the information, please." One, I find it really hard to communicate with people on TikTok. I'm not gonna lie,
I was
it's
going to
not
say
my
I am
favorite
not the person
platform.
to ask about
I'm due
TikTok.
to learn that one this year a little bit better. I'm posting, but I'm not great with it. So, but I understand the frustration you're having with it, 100%.
So
100.
Irene has put in the comments. I need to get out of the house more. I don't go out as much since COVID. Um, as Lisa said, obviously home parties are wonderful if you can do them. Like we said, we literally grew our business on home parties. Like honestly, no exaggeration. In 2017, we were partying like 2, 3 times a week, every week. I literally was never indoors. I was always empty partying. Um, but there are and if you want to do that, obviously wonderful. I would always say do a home party. However, there are so many ways that you can party. And WhatsApp parties, online Facebook parties. Now we can obviously go live with product as well. So what I would say is, try all these other ways first. If you really are genuinely trying for home parties, wonderful. Keep trying and trying to fill your diary with those. But don't be disheartened and think, oh well, I can't do this because I can't get out of the house. There are many, many, many other ways. And I know there's multiple groups set up. We've got was that a global group? I can't remember. I know that in Region 2 we've got a Facebook group which anybody can join. It's open. Which literally we had all different leaders and consultants of different levels sharing different ways that they'd partied. So yeah, there's many, many ways to do that.
I think as well, Irene, if you think about like maybe that becomes your focus
Yeah.
before sponsoring is like, right, how can I meet new people? Like, and maybe have a little think about how can I get out more if or how can I meet new people? What works for me? Because again, what works for me might not work for you and vice versa. So, whether I can't read the chat by the way, Laura, because my mouse has died. So we have it on charge, but
Okay. Right.
so if there's things coming up in the chat, like you'll have
Yeah,
to
no,
read them
that's
to
all
me.
right. We're up to
Sorry,
spin.
technical problems.
No.
But honestly, like sometimes, like I think you'd be surprised as well. I've done this exercise with my team before, which is a really good one. Is sit down with a piece of paper and write down all the places that you're going in a week, and then write
Yeah.
all the people that you'll see. Because it may well be I'm going to you think, well, I'm just going to the supermarket today to pick up some groceries. Well, okay, well, who are you going to see in the supermarket? Who could you give out samples to, business cards? Who could you talk to about the opportunity? You might have a doctor's appointment another day. There's a whole load of people that work there. But when you don't think, if you're not thinking, you're thinking, oh, how am I going to actually party to meet new people? Well, actually, write down all the places you're going and list all the potential people you're going to see. Fill your bag with your samples, all your goodies. And when you get out the house, when you go and do those things that you don't feel are like big things, think of all the people you're going to see, and then you can be like, okay, I'm going to step out of my comfort zone and talk to somebody today. That
So Irene said, yes, thank you. I found a book club for my city as well as a 50 plus women's group that does dinners 2 times a month. Just need to reopen the door and go, yes, amazing.
love
Love that.
that. I
And
love that.
as well, when you are like,
So my struggle is trying to find parties. My struggle
Oh,
is trying to find parties like hostesses to, like my
So
customers will
we
either
are
say,
going to
no, I just like to
have
order.
I'm actually working on April Spark session. So we're going to have a whole Spark session about parties. That's what I was just doing right now, is getting that scheduled. So definitely be on the lookout for that topic, because I think we want to get back to even home parties as well. So I'm
yeah,
searching for a home party, all the folks that are home partying right now, so we can get that out. So stay tuned for that, because I'm going to be on that one too.
we will find that group, the one that I thought it was global. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was just regional. But we will open it out, and there's so much content in there as well on parties that like.
as long as it's all been downloaded. But yeah,
Oh yeah,
we've got
yeah.
some, and all with British accents. If you want to listen to those, there's a whole array of accents there for you guys. But Tracy, do you know, I've tried something new this week, which worked really well to get hosts. And these were shopping link hosts. So that's where I've been working on the party links. Okay. I actually videoed myself for 2 minutes talking to camera, explaining like I was talking to my children what a party link is, how it works, and what benefit it is to my customers. And normally I do this by message. Let's be honest, I don't think anyone's reading the messages. So I sent the video and I was like, hi, it's a bit different from me today. This is what you're getting. Sent it out on broadcast to all my customers. And straight away, I've had 2 people come back this week who said, I'd like to give it a go. I did put on there, even if you get no orders, I will still give you a free bar wax, because look, we get enough free credit. Like, we should be using this credit for our house at the end of the day. We get enough free credit, all of us do, to at least one bar of wax to be able to give someone as a freebie. So, or I'm sure lots of you have got some stock that you're sitting on. I definitely have got some old bars. So I will make that look pretty. And, as I say, those particular customers at the minute with those shopping links, they're working really well. I'm having to do the coaching. But that was a really great way to get a host, but I had to really, really water it down. And now, as I say, the next step is I'm going to ask her to join, have those conversations, because then off the back of that, she's already been the consultant. So it worked really well for me.
Amazing. So Amber's just written in the comments, there's a group at the minute, booked and busy, all things about parties. Do you mean a Scentsy group, Amber? Is that what?
Yeah, some Whitney Hebel's just done a video in there today on horse coaching, but it's all the different kinds of parties throughout the week. And it's just sharing ideas. Just another group with another load of videos.
But you can never have too much. And the thing is,
You can.
what one person delivers sometimes might not hit, and then somebody else might say the same thing, and it might just go ping, and a little light bulb goes on in your brain. So yeah, you can never have, there's never too much learning.
That's why I think these sessions are so amazing, because, like, realistically, you're hearing a lot of the same stuff over and over and over again, but you just hear it differently from somebody else. Different for me. Like, I love listening to all you guys talk with your American accents. I'm like, I'm like,
I love it.
and I love it. I'm like, I'm here for this, and then that's it. I'm off like doing something. I'm like, that's brilliant. So, anybody else? Does anyone else want to unmute and ask anything, or anything about sponsoring that you're really struggling with, or that's working? What about, is anybody?
Yeah, any wins? Like, share any wins with us.
Because you guys have like amazing things that you do that get new teamies that work as well. I can't read the chat still, by the way, Laura, if there's anything
Yeah,
else.
no, Joseph's got to go. That's okay. Thank you so much for being here. We hope you took something from this.
Fabulous. Did anybody get a yes back from their five, or a maybe, or even a I've considered it? Did anybody get an I've considered it?
One last thing I am going to share with you. Sorry, did somebody else want to unmute and ask a question? No. is be super, super intentional. So we're telling you to do all these things, but like Lisa just said, and like the reason that Lisa gave you this task right now is because that's an intentional action. If you're not sponsoring or if you're not getting party hosts or if you're like how many of you like write a list, for example, of the Scentsy jobs that you're going to do within your day? If you are super intentional and maybe 3 days of the week you say, right, I'm going to ask 5 people today if they've ever considered joining Scentsy. And then if you ask 5 more people the next day, and if you ask 5 more people the next day, eventually somebody's going to say yes. But if you don't build it as a habit into your systems within your business, and you might not think you have systems, but you do if you actually like look at what you do. But make sure you are writing in your notes on your phone or on your reminders, or if you write like a physical list, I'm a bit of a pen and paper girl. If you write Monday, Wednesday, Friday, for example, ask 5 people, offer 5 people the opportunity, you'll start to build it as a habit that you do regularly.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I tell you, that is probably one of the biggest tips is that we can honestly say the reason we sponsor a lot of people is because it's a lifestyle for us.
Yeah.
We don't get to a certain point in the month and say, oh, I need to have sponsoring conversations. It's a daily activity, like it's a natural activity. That natural question, have you ever considered doing what I do, is something that we're asking people without even really thinking about it. So if you can build the confidence to do that, and a lot of it is just confidence. A lot of you guys all know what you need to do, actually. It's just having the confidence to be like, I've got to be prepared that someone's going to say no. And when you can find that confidence, I promise you, you've just got to build your skin a little bit like an onion. Like it gets a little bit thicker. Every time someone says no, you get another layer and another layer and another layer. And eventually your skin becomes so thick you're like, do you know what? Nothing can break me. You can't hurt me because it doesn't matter how many no's I hear. Like I can hear all the no's. It doesn't matter because eventually one will become a yes. And that one yes will outweigh all of those 50 no's or
Absolutely.
those 100 no's. And it is a little bit of a numbers game, guys. It really is a little bit of a numbers game. So,
And just remember this. You don't, I know if you do want to grow and you do want to build a big team, that is wonderful. But one person can change your business. One relationship that you make with a team member can change your business. If you have a party booking, for example, and everyone starts to cancel throughout the day and it's just going to be you, the hostess, and one other person, still go and do that party because one person can completely change your business. So don't ever think you need to have like 20 people at a party or, just remember it is a numbers game, but it can just take that one to absolutely skyrocket your business. And then that's when the momentum will start to build.
and I know you probably feel like, God, we hear that all the time, but like we're sitting here living proof. Like Laura won't mind if I say this, but I was her person that
It was
she
my
recruited.
explosion.
And we both went like a Coca-Cola bottle with the Mentos in it. Like that was literally what happened with mine and Laura's businesses at once, simultaneously. When I signed up with her, she had no idea who she just recruited. Like
Oh,
I was
what I
like,
was doing. Honestly, I was a star consultant. I was partying. Obviously, I'd sponsored a few people. I was still working full time as well. I was just loving my life, taking my Scentsy bag everywhere with me, teaching my fitness classes. And then Lisa came along and went, "What's the Scentsy thing that you do?" And I was like, "Yeah, they're like candles. It's really nice." Boom. And that is no exaggeration. And then she would message me and say, "Oh, I've watched this training on YouTube. We should do this. I've listened to this. Let's do this. Let's go and do this training." And then it just exploded. And Lisa, I'm just going to put this as a little caveat as well if you do sponsor a team. No, sorry, no, I was a director. But Superstar Director, I sponsored Lisa, but Lisa hit Superstar Director before I did. And then about 6, 8 months later, I hit it. But it doesn't matter. What we're saying is the beauty of this business is you work together, you cheer each other on, and then obviously since then we've both got established businesses. But it doesn't matter. You just work together, and you will have organic growth. But yeah, that is the perfect example of just sponsoring.
and that's the beauty of sponsoring. Like why to sponsor? Like you just don't know who you're going to meet when you go to all these places. Like Laura didn't really know me from Adam, and I was like, I think I might do this thing that you do. I don't even really know what the product is. I've never even tried it, but you said it was like candles and I love a candle. So I was like, I'm in, let's do it. And my husband actually thought that I had lost my head. Like, and now when we go on our trips, he knows that I definitely did lose my head, but, but it's wonderful. And growing a team, guys, is honestly like the biggest blessing, like for all of you. And I promise you, when that starts happening and that momentum starts coming, I want you to come and find us and tell us, because we want to cheer you on. We want to cheerlead it.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Has anyone got any more questions, guys? Because we don't want to keep you too long.
We've been on an hour. I knew that would happen. We're never keeping it short.
We're actually back on Monday though, so come and join us again.
We are. I'm going to come with it and help you.
Yeah, please do.
I'll just say one thing. Andrea Makies will know from speaking in SFR last year. She wanted 3 bars of wax from me, and I said, "Why don't you just join?
Oh, really?
You don't need 3 bars of wax. Come on, just join. You'll get a better deal." She said, "Oh yes, I will. I'll get the kit because it's a better deal. I'm not having a team. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing the other." Now look at her. She's a director. She's speaking at SFR, and she's absolutely smashing it.
Oh, she's lovely, isn't she?
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Amazing.
You just never know, guys. You just never know.
You just never know.
The biggest, do you know what? The most important thing you take away from all of these trainings is just ask. Just ask the question. Absolutely just ask the question. So, Teresa, we can send you voice notes all day long.
We'll just keep messaging you. I think we're done, guys. If there's no more questions, Teresa, I don't know if you want to close.
Or if there's anything
No,
else.
I'll let you guys end it, and then I will post the recordings. But thank you very much, both of you. I will say that for hopping on all the way from the United Kingdom, blessing us with your accents, but most importantly with the tried and true gifts and talents that have helped both of your businesses succeed consistently. So I'm over here taking notes too. So this is really wonderful, and we look forward to hopping back on here on Monday. A new topic, a new day, but same great folks from the UK.
Thank you so much, Teresa, as well, for organising all of these and honestly running with it.
Yeah.
We are very lucky to have you. So you're having a huge impact right now. So thank you.
You're welcome. You're so welcome. Thank you, guys. It takes a village.
It does. And thank you to all of you guys for giving up your time. And for those of you that are questions and unmuted, thank you. You didn't leave us hanging. So
all right,
thank you very much.
We'll see you later.
Thank you.